All right, here we go. This is another episode of the 2023 CrossFit season. Welcome. If you guys are coming from the open, thank you guys for tuning in and watching another video. Appreciate you guys. You guys rock. And let's get into it. So, what we have here on the screen, as you can see, we have something from HWPO. This is a wonderful, wonderful AMRAP of, I believe, 5 minutes on, 2.5 minutes off. And we have alternating Metcons here with descending reps the second time you do the 5-minute intervals. So we got 20 minutes of work here. First things first, we're starting off. I love the capacity of this workout. 30 cal row, 30 GHDs. The target for me personally was to do 2 complete rounds and get back to the rower and accumulate a couple cals if possible. For full context of this workout, we were pulling, I wish I would have flipped the monitor or had the rower wee time to sync up and show us what we're pulling here, but I believe I was around the 1500s, 1600s. This was about the same pace that I was pulling for 23.1, which had a 60 cal row. This is half of that, so we were trying to mimic that. To be honest, haven't done GHDs since this workout and haven't done them really much before, other than one Saturday where I accumulated 3 sets of 20 just at my own leisure, just to throw them in there preparing for quarterfinals. So this was a perfect workout. One, because it prepped for the open, and I think it's a good capacity test for quarterfinals. So just trying to build those things there. I love a 2-to-1 work to rest ratio. And overall, I just think it's a good combination of movements here. For this first couplet, again, the row to GHD, you're hinging one way, and now we're forcibly hinging the other way. Giving the arms a little bit of rest, I was trying to throttle and use those biceps to pull in the first row. And here is just straight hinge and legs. As you can see, I do have a cutoff hoodie, what I'm wearing currently. Probably not the best move here, as the strings were popping me in the face. So we went completely closed, shut the eyes, and just go by feel, because they were kind of, as you can see, stabbing me in the face as we were going through this workout. Haven't done GHDs in a while. So this first 30, we felt pretty good. But when we get off of the machine, my body started to react a little bit, and we knew that second row and that second GHD, it was going to be painful. Looking at the time here, again, pretty happy with how I moved. I wish I would have probably honestly gone out a little hotter on the row erg. As you can see there too, I do have my water and my electrolytes ready to go. So in a workout like this, thinking about how one can move through and be more successful in this workout, have everything you need. Chalk, have your refuel objects ready for you, whether that's a gel, electrolyte, salt tab, whatever, water. Have everything pretty localized. Don't go across the gym. Have all your equipment in one area. Have it set up and get ready to rock and roll. So we're in the second round here. As you can see, I took a second to get my feet strapped in. I did a couple pulls, and then I would pull one, strap one, pull one, strap the other. You can play around with that. Some people say you should just strap both feet in and then pull. I think it's more beneficial just to rip the rower hard like 3 times, and then on the 4th, get the left, on the 5th, get the right, and now you're, the meter's already going. The cadence on this one was much different, or I guess the power output. I think I was hovering at like the 1400s or the 13-somethings. So not as big of a pull in the row. Again, the hips were feeling it. Those 30 GHDs, they eat you up. And that's why I think this was a great capacity test that I really, really wanted to knock out here. Because, again, haven't done a clip of 30 GHDs and probably since quarterfinals last year. Maybe a workout in preparation for Metcon Rush or Invictus, but really not doing too much with GHDs. I like to just do a whole lot of isometric work for my core. I like to squat heavy with pauses. That's mainly my core work. So I was pretty happy with how these went. We entered the pain cave here. We really did. We have 1 minute and 10 seconds to knock out 30 GHDs. I know in an EMOM setting, I've had 18 GHDs, and I've done them in about 40 to 45 seconds. So here I knew I had to get a pretty big jump start in order to rack out 30. So I don't know how many I started before I got to the 4-minute mark, but in the countdown, we were trying to really rep out. So if we look here, let's see, touch, that's 4:15. We're doing about 2 GHDs a second. 1 GHD every 2 seconds. So that would be 30. That's about 1 minute's time. Now, these reps will slow down on the back half, but for the time being for this workout, pretty happy with how the GHDs went. I honestly do wish I would have changed the positioning a little bit here. I probably would have moved the GHDs one notch back or lengthened the GHD, as I felt like I was overextending and really like, look, my hands, my arms aren't fully extending on the ground. The fingertips are like touching and I still have like probably another foot to go. So it's something I'm going to mess around with and play with in the next few weeks as I try to hit GHDs at least once a week. I don't think doing it more than that would be necessary. Going, maybe so. I know Mayhem does a ton of GHD work, and that will most likely be in quarterfinals again in some destructive form or fashion. So there's the break. We're going to skip through this one just so we can keep going here because I don't want to keep you guys for any longer. That's not necessary. So here we go. We're going to start and skip through in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Now, we are in the next AMRAP, so 2 30-second rest went over. It felt pretty good, actually. Like, I like the 2-to-1 work-to-rest ratio. I think it's a good combination for power output and recovery. Getting some power snatches in. I really do think this is going to be in the open. At the time of this recording, 23.2 has happened, and I do believe 23.3. Calling it. It's going to have dumbbell power snatches at 50 pounds, 35 for the ladies, and then double unders. Maybe something new, like a just simple body weight lunge or a jumping lunge where the knee must contact the ground and you alternate steps. Something of that form or fashion I think is going to be prevalent in the open. So I definitely think a dumbbell, power snatch, and then dubs or body weight lunges or something of that fashion. So we'll see. We will see. But in this workout, we have on the screen right now, we have an AMRAP, 5-minute AMRAP again, of 20 power snatches with the dumbbell, and then 20 handstand push-ups. Full transparency here. Haven't really done a whole lot of handstand push-ups. As you saw there, I fell, and we got right back up. Overall, pretty happy with how the body responded and not gassing out. I was a little disappointed, though, as my traps really started to get pretty tight here. In my brain, I was just thinking same rhythm or same rounds goal as the first workout with the row GHD as 2 rounds. But as I quickly got through the first round, I realized if I would have paced this and gone out a little bit harder, I potentially could have gotten 3 rounds. But I kind of accepted my fate and didn't want to explode. I really didn't know how the shoulders were going to respond. So I went a little bit more conservatively here. And I got like 2 and some change on the snatches. So overall, pretty good flow, moving pretty good. One thing I've noticed, and there will be a video after this because I have done another power snatch and a double under workout today. This workout was from Wednesday. I figured out how to power snatch a lot better. This is a very inefficient snatch. There's a lot of movement going on here. So this is why, again, I love to record. I love to do these analysis because this does not look good. I look like crap. Now, granted, I did do a single 5-minute AMRAP of GHDs and rowing, and at this point, my hips were like killing me, and my lungs were on fire. But still, no excuse. This has got to be cleaned up. Like, this will be an issue in 23.3 or quarterfinals because my grip felt weird. My body was getting pulled everywhere. Just not happy with it overall. And finally, again, I'm sorry. We figured it out. Today, I used a mirror to figure out how my snatch pull needs to be better and more efficient, and it just looked and felt so much better. Been working on my mobility a lot too, and I don't think that's the issue. It's literally the cadence and style of how I pull. Second thing too is I really am happy with this Metcon because it's a lot of upper body capacity here in this second piece. Under a little bit of fatigue, I love that combination. Let's beat up the core and the lungs a little bit with the row GHD. Rest, and now let's test the shoulders. I had a massive shoulder pump. Like, the delts were all fired up, the traps were all fired up. I don't know what my sets were, but I think I was doing like 3 sets, like 7, 6, 7, or 7, 7, 6, whatever, to get the 20 repetitions. The dumbbell snatch I knew was going to be unbroken, just breathe, and then take it for whatever this was. Pretty happy with how the kip looks. It's a lot more stable than it has been, where my legs would fly out like a starfish, and now we're doing just a little bit more of a centered pull down with the heels and a good kick straight up. I do need to kick harder still, and I think I do still move a little bit too slow, but that's just a very hard self-critique. So now we're moving into the last minute of the workout here. And actually, this is what, round 3? So I knew that we were going to get through these dumbbell snatches, and then we were going to get, I don't know, maybe a handful of handstand push-ups. I can't really remember off the top of my head how I did. But again, really ugly movement pattern. Look how I look so just like I'm letting my body twist and turn, and I'm not using a whole lot of legs here. I don't know why. And I can't remember, like, I don't think the row took that much out of me. And I don't think the GHD would have affected my backside that much that I don't use more leg. So something, again, technically we're looking at here, not the biggest issue in the world, but from an efficiency standpoint of time management and actual movement patterns, again, not super happy with this. But again, not the worst thing in the world. So we have 15 seconds here. Honestly, I should have just kicked up right away. But again, trying to breathe it out, and we get like a handful of reps here. Really slow, though. I really wish I would have attacked that. It's 3, and then there's the 4th rep. So 4 handstand push-ups. So now we're going to be moving into the ladder. First, let me skip through, and let's get on to the row and the GHD again. So writing my scores down, getting myself set, drinking some electrolytes, and here we go. So we're moving into the next one. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I'm just saying that because it's going to make my editing process a little easier to know exactly where I am in the video. But getting back on the row. So what's happened here is the calories and the number of GHDs have scaled down. We've gone from 30 repetitions of each to, I believe, 24. So shaving off 6 cals and 6 GHDs. Did not know how the body was going to respond. We honestly felt pretty good. Again, that 2-to-1 work to rest ratio, love it. Body responded really, really well. And we were hammering out the same pace almost on the rower that we did in the first row. By the second half of those 12 cals of the 24, we definitely tapered off. But for the first 12 at least, we were holding that same pace, which I was really, really happy with. But again, kind of died off a little bit. But I knew with those 6 less cals, we're talking maybe 15, 20 seconds there at least. And then the GHD, 6 less GHD, again, 12 to 15. So I knew per round I was going to have about 30 to 35, maybe even potentially 40 seconds extra to operate and work with here. So I knew I was going to get through 2 rounds and get back onto the rower, especially after doing the first set of GHDs. I think I look up at the clock and realize, whoa, we're not even halfway through the workout yet. So you're definitely going to be able to get through. So I try to not let that like ease my mind, but motivate me to get back onto the rower for that 3rd time. So that's part of like the mental side of thinking through this workout. But yeah, we're in the pain cave here. 24 reps again. So we have gone 30, which is 60. And this is now the 84th rep that we will be completing here. That's a lot of volume, especially for myself who hasn't done a whole lot of GHD in. And I was definitely feeling it on Friday when we did 23.2. So I don't think it affected me too much, but I definitely could like feel it when I was warming up. But again, not an excuse. Just a comment there. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Quite tired, but I gotta make this YouTube video, man. We're just getting after it, putting in the work. So yeah, I looked up the clock and we were at like 2:05. Now we're at 2:10, 2:11. And we're getting the rower kicked back up. I don't think I had my feet strapped in yet. There we go. 2 kicks, left foot. I think I do 2 more kicks, right foot, wink. And now we're off for the races. I just think personally, I got to do a video on this to see if this actually saves time, which is a good, I think, idea for comparison to see if you should just start ripping and do like, I don't know, 10 cals as fast as you can. Or if you can, maybe I try to pull at the same like stroke rate. I got to figure out how I want to, quantify that and do that. But I think that would be a helpful video to kind of see, does it save you a few calories or a few seconds to get in a couple more calories? So getting back on the second 24, pretty happy with my leg drive here. One thing I was using is, you see the 2 upright beams or poles for the rig? I wasn't pulling with my arms until I saw those in my peripheral. So one thing is, I've watched, Olympic rowers or college athletes who row, they really emphasize using their legs way more than I thought. And their positioning is way different than what you're probably accustomed to seeing in CrossFit. So I try to mimic that in my row and utilizing my legs because they're big and they're strong and they can move a lot better than my arms can. So I was trying to use that as perspective to use more legs. And when I see the side peripheral of the bar, that's when I would start pulling with my arms. So that's one thing I'm trying to work on and become more efficient at, similar to how I want to be more efficient at my snatch and handstand push-ups. So here we are with the second set of 24 GHDs. The core was absolutely smoked. That's why you're seeing me pause kind of at the top too. Trying to just breathe and recapture and regather myself. And at this point too, from not being familiar or as comfortable with being upside down, my head was absolutely throbbing. Maybe not the best thing to do. It was quite late at the time of this workout. It's like 10 o'clock at night. We had a long day at work. We had week 5, session A of the back squat going on. And for whatever reason, I was like, dude, you got to do this workout. And it was already like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we loaded up on carbs and just got after it. But yeah, we were in quite a bit of pain here. So looking up, we got about 30 seconds left. And we're just going to moderately, intensely rip this rower. So I don't know how my feet position looked, but I think we got, I don't know, like 2 or 3 pulls in. And I might have just done this without restrapping at all. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think I restrapped this one. I didn't think it was worth the time or output. So that was my gut decision. And at this point, we were just yanking the chain as hard as we could for 20 seconds. And I think I got like 6 or 7 calories. And I do believe that was the right call to not strap in and just get whatever I could. So really happy with that second AMRAP and how well I think my body responded and translated. So let's skip to the last little bit here, and we will get on to that fourth and final AMRAP starting in 3, 2, 1. Nope, sorry, 5 seconds. 3, a 2, a 1. Here we go. So these reps also went down. So we went from 20 snatches, 20 handstand push-ups down to 16 snatches and 16 handstand push-ups. So for this one, because of how far I got in the first 5-minute AMRAP of 2 rounds and change, almost getting through 3, this one I definitely knew I wanted to get 3 rounds in total. So that was the goal. That was the plan to stick and know and kind of monitor my pacing. If you look at 5 minutes, that is 300 seconds. So, right? Yeah. 55 times 60. Yeah, 300 seconds. So 3 rounds, divide that by 300 seconds. We have 100 seconds. In my brain, I'm thinking, okay, 1:40 a round. So I knew the dumbbells were going to take about 40-ish seconds, and I had about a minute to do every set of 20 handstand push-ups. So that was the cadence and rhythm that I was looking for. As you will see here, my handstand push-up changes a little bit. My feet are a little bit wider. That's that starfish technique I was kind of talking about here. Again, kind of cleaned things up and kind of got back in my rhythm and be like, hey, this is not how we do this anymore. Trying to take relatively quick breaks. I don't like that I walked away and took the lap, but I think it really was strategic because it wasn't going to allow me just to get back too quickly and then absolutely torch and burn out my shoulders. So one thing there is just trying to do that load management and not have my fatigue kill me, because I really, truly wanted to finish 3 rounds of this second 5-minute AMRAP. And so, 1:30 down in the round, we're right on pace here. We're 10 seconds under where we're supposed to be. Pretty happy with the breaks. Again, not super happy with this breakdown of form here. I am looking absolutely toasted. And I think my right and my left, there's definitely a big discrepancy in efficiency and pattern there. Again, wishing I would have used a little more legs, a whole lot of hinging. Didn't really feel this over the next couple of days. My back felt pretty good. Like I remember last year in 22, whichever one was the repeat. I think it was 22.1 with the burpee box jump overs and dumbbell snatch. Dude, my lower back was absolutely fried. But in this workout, we felt pretty good. Looking at it, got through 6 rounds of, 60, and then, 48 snatches. So just over 108 snatches, and my back felt pretty good. I don't know if that was with, I'm more conditioned or maybe the technique or my back, whatever. But that's besides the point. The lower back did not get too jacked up. So here we are, we're halfway through the AMRAP, and we are way ahead of schedule. We are right where we need to be. I think the split is 320? Yeah, 320 that I need to be finished this in order to be on pace. So we did slow down a little bit here, a little bit longer break there. The dumbbell snatches were definitely a little slower, but we are definitely on pace to knock out these 16 repetitions here. Little starfish there, and then we brought it back a little bit there. Again, pretty good kick up, feeling pretty good here. So we're at 3 minutes, 5 seconds. We are 15 seconds ahead of schedule. And we're looking here, and we are getting to the back part of this workout. This is where I think it's a little bit more acceptable to be a little bit less efficient. I mean, I've been working out now for 18 and a half minutes total with some rest in between. So this is where I can't get as mad at myself for the breakdown, because it's expected if you're pushing yourself and you're gritting through a workout. You've done a bunch of other work before this, but still, I want to be a little more efficient. I want to be a little more critical about how I'm moving. Can I be more efficient with my lungs exploding? Doing a couple power muscle snatches there. Don't know why. I don't know. I just kind of oscillate between the two. There's a muscle one there, and the one before was a power with a little dip in it. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Just kind of subconsciously, I guess. So here we are into the final bit, the last minute. And I think I went pretty big here. So there's 4 for the handstand push-ups. No, I went 6 reps. I lied. I think I go 6-4-4 here, but we'll see. Or 6. I think I go 6-5-5. But let's see. I can't remember off the top of my head with my memory here. But I do know we do finish this on pace for where we needed to be. So yeah, there's 5, and I think we finish off with 5 more. I was not freaking out. I knew I had 30 seconds left. I just knew I should not fail a rep, and that would be probably the most ideal thing to do. So I have 2 more. This is where the shoulders really, almost fell off the board here. And I'm like, don't freak out. You are fine. I look up, and I'm like, great. Now I have 15 seconds just to crank. And we did not move as fast. We were not trying to go gung-ho and send. Not trying to get, injured. And I knew I was coming to the tail end of the workout where I'm like, just move, grab the freaking dumbbell, and just rip it. So, again, not the best technique, but we finished right at 5 minutes with the dumbbell overhead. So, I think 6 repetitions there. Pretty happy with how that went. A whole lot of volume in a short amount of time at a very relative high intensity, mimicking something, again, you'd see in the Open or the quarterfinals. And that's why when I saw that workout on the board, the guys did, I'm like, 1, can't let them get into all the fun without me. And 2, that's exactly what I need in preparations for the Open. So, as you can see, very visibly happy with that one. I'm just going to walk over and see the board and look at the splits, the times, the reps for that. So please, if you must, for comparison reasons, please take that for what it is. As always, thank you guys for watching this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Peace. Much love.